Let's start with a simple but uncomfortable question. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you try to improve your situation, you somehow end up in the same financial place? Maybe you make a little progress, you pay off some debt, you start saving. But then something happens. An unexpected expense, a bad financial decision, a missed opportunity, and suddenly it feels like you're right back where you started. Over time, this pattern becomes frustrating. You begin to wonder if financial stability is simply harder for you than it is for other people. But what if the real obstacle isn't your effort? What if the barrier is something much deeper? Something operating quietly beneath your awareness? Today, we're going to explore an idea that has gained attention in psychology and personal development. The possibility that your subconscious mind may be influencing your financial reality more than you realize. The hidden system. Behind your decisions, most people believe their financial decisions are logical. You compare options, you analyze risk, you make a choice. But research in behavioral psychology has repeatedly shown that a large portion of our daily decisions are driven by subconscious patterns rather than conscious analysis. These patterns develop over years. Family conversations about money, early experiences with success or failure, cultural messages about wealth. All of these factors slowly shape what psychologists sometimes call your money script, the internal narrative that defines how you relate to finances. And the important thing to understand is this: your subconscious money script influences your behavior, even when you don't realize it. Why smart people still struggle financially? This is why intelligence alone does not guarantee financial success. You can understand budgeting. You can read books about investing. You can learn about business and personal finance. But if your subconscious beliefs about money are conflicting, those beliefs can quietly interfere with your actions. For example, someone who subconsciously associates wealth with stress may avoid opportunities that require responsibility or leadership. Someone who believes money is difficult to keep may unconsciously overspend once their savings grow. And someone who feels undeserving of success might hesitate when presented with opportunities that could significantly improve their financial future. These patterns don't feel like sabotage. They simply feel like normal decisions. But over time, they create financial stagnation. The invisible ceiling effect. One interesting phenomenon psychologists sometimes discuss is the invisible ceiling. This happens when people repeatedly return to the same financial level even after temporary improvement. You might see this in people who receive a large bonus or windfall, but eventually return to their previous financial situation. Or entrepreneurs who experience brief growth, but repeatedly struggle to maintain it. It's not always about skill or opportunity. Often it's about internal expectations. Your subconscious mind tends to pull your behavior toward what it believes is familiar and normal. If financial struggle has been your normal environment for years, sudden prosperity can feel psychologically uncomfortable. And when something feels uncomfortable, people often unconsciously recreate familiar conditions. The role of financial identity. Another important factor is something called financial identity. This is the story you tell yourself about who you are in relation to money. Some people identify as good with money. Others identify as always struggling financially. These identities may seem harmless, but they shape behavior. If someone deeply identifies as a person who struggles financially, their mind will unconsciously filter opportunities through that identity. Opportunities that challenge the identity may feel risky or unrealistic. Opportunities that reinforce the identity feel familiar and safe. This is why changing financial results often requires more than new strategies. It requires a shift in identity. Why willpower alone isn't enough? Many people attempt to improve their finances through pure discipline. They try to force better habits. They try to stay positive. They try to ignore doubt. And while discipline is valuable, it has limits. When conscious effort conflicts with subconscious beliefs, the subconscious usually wins over time. Think of it like trying to swim upstream. You can move forward for a while, but eventually the current pulls you back. The key is not simply swimming harder. The key is changing the current itself. Understanding subconscious resistance. Subconscious resistance does not mean you don't want success. In fact, most people who experience financial stagnation deeply want change. But desire alone does not erase years of conditioning. If you grew up hearing messages like, "Money is the root of all problems," or "Rich people are selfish," those ideas may still influence how comfortable you feel around wealth. Even if you consciously reject those beliefs, the subconscious mind may still hold on to them. And until those deeper associations are addressed, progress can feel slow or inconsistent. What happens when beliefs begin to shift? When people start examining and restructuring their subconscious beliefs, something interesting often occurs. Their perception of opportunities changes. Situations that once seemed intimidating begin to feel manageable. Financial decisions become clearer, and actions that once felt uncomfortable begin to feel natural. It's not that the outside world suddenly changes. It's that the internal filters guiding your behavior begin to shift. And when your behavior changes consistently, your financial outcomes eventually follow. The first step toward change, the first step toward breaking financial stagnation, is not immediately chasing more income. It's awareness. Understanding the beliefs and assumptions that currently shape your financial decisions. Ask yourself questions like, what did I learn about money growing up? Do I associate wealth with freedom or pressure? Do I feel comfortable imagining myself financially successful? These questions reveal patterns many people have never examined before. And once you become aware of those patterns, you gain the ability to challenge them. A different way to look at financial growth. When you begin viewing financial progress through this lens, something important happens. You stop seeing money purely as an external goal. Instead, you begin to understand it as the result of internal patterns and external actions working together. External strategies matter, but internal alignment matters just as much. When those two forces work together, progress tends to accelerate. If you felt stuck financially for a long time, it doesn't necessarily mean you're making poor decisions or lacking discipline. Sometimes it means there are subconscious patterns quietly shaping your behavior. And once you begin understanding those patterns, the path forward becomes clearer. On this channel, we explore these deeper mechanisms, how subconscious beliefs influence wealth, success, and personal growth. If this topic interests you and you want to continue exploring it, make sure to subscribe. In future videos, we'll look deeper into the mechanisms behind subconscious conditioning and why certain approaches seem to create faster internal shifts than others. And if you're curious about the specific framework that focuses on identifying and addressing the subconscious beliefs that slow down manifestation and financial progress, you can review the official information through the link in the description and the pinned comment below. It connects directly to the ideas we discussed today and provides additional context for those who want to learn more. Take your time, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.